right, let's talk about the setup that we currently have at the high school here. It's quite the amazing setup. We're currently in the control room. Over there we can see the towers. This is all of our equipment that runs our various systems. Very neat. We have our sound console. It's a Yamaha QL5. Love it. We have a ClearCom system. This is our main for our stage manager to communicate on both different channels as they need to. Then we also have a God mic that's a push to talk. This is really cool because it gives the stage manager the ability to make an announcement to not only backstage but also front of house, all at the push of a button. Also helps our sound engineer when they're doing the mic checks. On top of the ClearCom box, something very cool, we have a stream deck. This is something that we're implementing. This is the first show, actually. We have different controls that we can then control. We have our various Qlab controls, so we can stop a cue, we can resume or pause or play a cue. We also have emergency procedures. So you press 911 and then click on fire. That will send a phone call to the fire department. It will display some instructions on the screen for them to follow. It'll display instructions on the side projectors for the audience to follow. Basically, it's an automated procedure for when these various things happen. Now, this is new. This is not quite set up yet. So, and then we also can go to different pages and do various things as we're creating the Qlab show file, which is the next very cool thing. So the Qlab runs basically the entire show. So we have our lighting console here. Qlab is talking to our lighting console over our Wi-Fi network, which we're currently working on switching over to Ethernet. We are also connected to the soundboard via a MIDI connection. So we can send MIDI to the soundboard. We can actually receive it back, but we don't really do that. And over here, we can see the various scenes that we've set up. So these scenes are basically just turning channels on and off. And we have the recall safe set up on this. So that way we can make adjustments during the show that impact all the various other scenes, which is what we want. So if someone's a little hot right now, we'll turn them down or turn them up, depending on the level. And those changes will stick throughout the whole show, so we don't have to constantly be modifying or fighting with the faders. So this allows the sound engineer to focus solely on levels, quality, and issues instead of following the script and figuring out who's on next, when I have to turn a mic on, when I have to turn a mic off, because that in and of itself is a chore. So that is all done through our Qlab system, which is amazing. Beyond that, we also have this go button. Now, we can easily press the spacebar and run a cue. We've done that in the past. There's nothing wrong with that. However, what we've noticed is that when we use that method, we see that the spacebar gets double pressed. So when that's the case, two cues fire off at the same time. It's not the greatest of things. So that's why I invested in this little gadget here. This is our go button. This is it's basically that there's pressure pushing back on the button. So the likelihood that you're going to double press this on accident is extremely zero, or it's very, very low. I actually haven't seen it happen. I've actually seen someone double tap it on purpose, but never on accident like you would the spacebar. So love that. We can also pause, resume, and stop. It makes it super intuitive. So we actually take away the keyboard and the mouse when the user is running the show. So that way they're only working off of this little module right here. We also can control the various screens that are on that are throughout the theater using our Credtron and Xtron system. So this has all of our various inputs. We have quite a few. And then we have all of our various outputs. So we can route whatever inputs we want to whatever outputs we want. We currently have Qlab set up to go to 5 of those inputs, and then we can route them as needed. So we send the rear camera, which is above us here. That is also integrated in Qlab. So we're receiving that camera signal and sending it out with various messages to the crew. So when a scene change needs to happen on the screens that are behind the proscenium for just the backstage crew, way back in there, they can actually see a message on the screen that says scene change, go. And it kind of flashes at them, in addition to also being integrated with the Clearcom headset. So we can actually play messages to the various channels within Clearcom. And that is all done through connecting Qlab through our Dante network. Now, we can technically have 64 different audio outs, and that then sends the signal to the sound console, which, in essence, sends it to our Dante Rio box down there, which then routes it through a Clearcom box that is using like kind of a conference method to it, if you will. So that's awesome. It allows us to do highly customized timed effects that are always at the perfect time, and it's all at the push of a button. Super cool stuff. And I'm not even done yet. So we can actually control all the power within the theater, as well as the control and all the different touch screens that allow us to turn the house lights on, house lights off. We can turn off the power to all of our movers here. Get a little closer. So our follow spots, we can turn those off. We can turn off all the stage power. So it's all at the push of a button, as well as some built-in effects to where sometimes we don't even need to use our fancy light board in order to run a show. We can all just run it based off by touching this touchscreen. Last but certainly not least, my favorite thing is the light board. We have an Ion XE, ETC, of course. We have a touchscreen set up with magic sheets for our rig. So this shows us all the different lights within our rig. We have all the colors. We have the groups, so we can select what kind of fixtures we want to do and whether or not we want to turn them on or off. So there we can turn them on. We can then turn them off. We can also do effects. And then we also have multiple tabs that do different things. So we have an effects tab, we have a specials, we have a rig, we have a basic layout if you just want to be super basic about it. And yeah, that's really the cool things about this theater. I feel like I'm actually missing quite a bit, because I am. There's actually so much to go over that maybe I will in another video. So thank you for watching this. Let me know if you have any questions. I kind of went over a lot, so good luck with that. And we'll be seeing you later.